It's so cold. It's like 29 degrees here in Vegas. No joke. It's
With
7
a feel like of 23.
or 5.
No, it's at 23.
I say 5.
Okay.
That's what I feel like it is. My toes hurt.
Okay.
It's 7:57 in the morning, but guess what? It's Friday.
It is.
And what does that mean?
Kids are in school.
It's a school day. So we're going to see how the bins are on a school day, even though I've got like 150 pieces to photograph at home today. Vicki wanted to come to the bins.
400 pieces coming from a buyout later this week. Or
What?
next week.
Anyway, the crowds are gathering. Got to get out of here soon because probably another minute or so. But anyway, let's see if we can do a little bit better than we did last Sunday. Ugh, gross. Well, why did you lie about it being the last haul with Christmas decorations?
Well, we have our meetup tomorrow, so I didn't want to take them down before that. And yeah, they're still up.
All right, so this is the last one because we're taking the Christmas decorations out this weekend. We're not doing any more haul videos this weekend. It's Friday right now. It's only 10 o'clock, so we went into the bins and got out pretty quick, went and got coffee, and then we're going to bang out this video real quick before we do our shipping, and I've got a ton of work to do. You've got a lot of work to do. I didn't find a whole lot. You did better than I did at the bins. I mean, I found like a bunch of sweatshirts and stuff that are good mids, like I might sell for like $30 or so, but not really worth showing. So I actually have like 4 things from the bins today, and then some things I got at yesterday's fits earlier this week that have not been shown in any videos. But you did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I did okay. I had almost a full cart, and it was only like $50. So, I mean, a lot of mediocre stuff, but I did grab a few things that are worth showing.
I spent a whole $15, guys.
High rolling.
All right, what do you got? Show us.
Okay, so I'll start with this. This was just, I probably could have found more if I wanted to spend more time really digging, but I grabbed a little basket to hold everything, but I got a bunch of these vintage 60s and 70s ornaments. This was a thing, like people used to bring these home and make these little kits, and they've got like little push pins in them and beads and stuff all over them. So I have 1, 2, they're really nicely done. They're satin ornaments, very big in the 70s. I think my mom made a bunch, but God knows we don't have those anymore, or she doesn't have them anymore. So I got about 6 of those, and then a couple of, they're probably not Radco, but they look like Radco Santa ornaments. I didn't pay very much for them. I'll probably lot the first batch of ornaments up together like these and get somewhere around $50 or so for the lot. So, yeah.
Interesting. Probably my best find of the whole week, guys, right here. This is definitely worth about $1 bazillion. It is not technically vintage, as it's dated 2005. Now this tag you'll see a similar ones. It got real dark. Like late 90s, early 2000s, but this shirt is from 2005. But seriously, guys, how could I leave this behind? It's Bat Boy, the musical. How dare you? You are so very rude. If this was black, I probably would, in my size, I probably would keep it and wear it just to annoy Vicki.
Yeah, you would.
But Bat Boy,
probably. Let's be real.
I definitely would keep it and wear it to annoy Vicki. Bat Boy, the musical. This is from like some community theater. It's probably from community college, TMCC, spring 2005. But come on, guys, Bat Boy the musical. I figure I can get a cool 20 out of this maybe. And how can I leave it behind? Look at Bat Boy. Come on.
That's kind of ridiculous. All right, so these were kind of fun just because they're so retro and vintage, but these are just, the brand is Chinese Laundry. I think they might even still make shoes. It wasn't an expensive brand to begin with, but these are so, they're dead stock, first of all. They're still wrapped in like tissue paper, but these are very vintage 90s. Look at this platform, squishy platform with the lug sole and the little, and they're peep toe and slingback and sneakery at this. I mean, they're freaking ridiculous. They look like something that like a Spice Girl would wear in the 90s, probably. Right? So I got these. They're super cute. I can totally see how they would be worn and styled. I really love them. I probably paid like $4 or $5 because of the weight. Our bins went up to $1.89. So they were at $1.69, and they must have changed the sign sometime in the last week or so.
It's been $1.89 for a while.
Has it?
Yes.
Because I just noticed the new sign today. But anyway, these are super cute. I'm going to list them for like $75.
What? All right. Next up, one of my hoodies. This is not vintage. I will show you the tag here. This is the Gildan tag with a little gray line going through it. And I will say when it's gray with the blue line going through it, not necessarily always vintage, but with the blue line going through it, that can be late 90s into the early mid 2000s. But the gray, definitely not vintage. But it's a nice, I don't know if you guys we've talked about this, like how garbage sweatshirts are nowadays. A lot of the newer, yeah, they have this really gross, fake, super light, but not comfy feel to them, just really cheap feeling. And so this is still one of the good ones. And it is a Pepsi Max 0 calorie hoodie. Now, we already know it's not vintage based on the tag, but also Pepsi Max did come out in the 90s, but it didn't get to the US until like later in the 2000s.
You must have looked that up. How would you know that?
Because I'm super effing smart, biatch. You guys, do you see how she talks down to me and she does not respect that I might have some knowledge? Well, zero respect. Zero respect. Anyway, but it's great graphic on it. I don't know, what's out there as far as Pepsi Max stuff, but it was still a good pickup. And when you're only paying a couple bucks, why not?
Why not? All right, so these are funny. These have a Goodwill tag on them, but they never hit the floor because they're dated like 1/5/2024. So I think sometimes they just toss stuff in there that has tags. Anyway, so these are Hey Dudes. Hey Dudes. They're the Hey Dudes Wendy version, the Pride. They say love on the back. The sole's dirty, but the rest of the shoe is really in great shape. These sell for like $75, guys.
Hey, dude.
First of all, I don't understand this whole concept of these shoes. I think they're ugly as hell. But they weighed under a pound total. So, I mean, I'll pick them up all day long.
All right. Potentially my actual favorite thing I picked up today, even though I have zero clue if it's worth anything. So that's how it works when you're a reseller, right? This is just a button-down, short-sleeve kind of camp shirt.
It's
Hawaiian-y. But it's all polyester. It's definitely vintage. But the tag is Wild Turkey Shirt Australia. Now, one of the issues is the fact that it's called Wild Turkey because what do you think is going to come up when I try to search Wild Turkey?
Oh, everything.
Everything whiskey. Yeah. So I don't.
Gross, cheap.
I'm not super confident about my ability to do any research on this, but it's just a really cool vintage shirt.
The clothing category.
And because there's no Wild Turkey shirts.
No, there's some, but there won't be a ton.
Anyway, it's just a really cool all over print. It's like floral. It's got some birds on it. It's a nice big size. It actually does feel nice, even though it's polyester. I mean, it's a little bit scratchy, but I think it's cool. I think it could be worth some money. The question is it a recognizable brand at all to anyone? Or is it going to go solely off of the fact that it's, the style of it? But anyway, it's cool. I like it.
So this one's for my doll peeps, right? I actually know quite a bit about vintage dolls, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy buying and selling. However, sometimes I get stumped. Okay, so I grabbed this at the bins. This actually I grabbed last Sunday at the bins, paid, whatever, a buck maybe. She's definitely vintage 80s and styled after the 80s Barbie dolls because of the bent arm, and she has the clicky knees, like on the vintage Barbies. However, she is not marked Barbie anywhere. So she's like a Barbie clone of some kind. Beautiful African-American bride doll. Definitely 80s. Everything about it is 80s, but I can't find her anywhere. There's no markings anywhere on her. I'm wondering if anybody would know off the top of their head, like this is the face. Again, Google image or does nothing for me either. Comes up with a bunch of Barbies. But this is her original dress because the dress does not come off. So I don't know. I'm wondering maybe Sandy, a Sandy doll, like those are popular in the Australia around the Barbie era.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. But if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
All I know is my first and only Barbie was a wedding Barbie, and I proceeded to put her in Ken's clothing, chop off all of her hair, and shave it into a mohawk. Her ears did get shaved off as well, so she looked a little freaky, but she was cool.
So she would have fit well in the Barbie movie as Weird Barbie.
All right, so we were only there for 2 rotations. The second rotation, there was a guy, I saw him grab this jacket. I couldn't see anything about it other than the fact that it was a vintage satin bomber jacket. I could tell it was in really nice, if not brand new condition. And so I was kind of eyeballing him, and I was like, oh, I had to give it up because, you know, it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then sometimes Vikki is nice to me occasionally, and she gave this to me. But the only reason she gave it to me was because she had no interest in listing it herself. Let's be honest here, guys.
I gave it to you because I knew you'd like it. She's so rude, guys. I get no credit. No respect. I get no respect. Me and Rodney.
Neither one of us, so we're all in it with Rodney. Anyway, so it's not necessarily the best, you know, it's a union jacket, but this is a Steelworkers. I feel like of the union, Steelworkers is one of the cooler ones. Come on, right? And anyway, so it's got the big graphic on the back, and it's got the local 4856 on the front. So, you know, it's an okay find. It's definitely not going to go for $1 bazillion or anything like that, but maybe I can get 50 out of it, 40, 50 bucks out of it. We'll see. So I was moderately grateful to your gift.
Wow, guys, I get nothing. No credit, nothing. She's so rude.
All right.
So I grabbed this at the bins as well. I like to pick up belts and ties, and I don't always pick up ties, but I do pick up the good designer ones. I did show you guys a couple last week that were good. But this is a vintage leather belts with a really cool owl belt buckle. It's made by a company called Coleco, not Coleco the toy company, but Koleaco. If you look, and it's size 30, this is probably like late 70s, early 80s vintage.
Wait, who makes it?
I'm really going to elbow you right in the face, right? She's such... Seriously, I can't take it today. No caffeine for you. Anyway, so this I'll probably only get like 40 bucks for or so, but I only paid $1. But what I wanted to do is have you look up that brand. Look at some of the sold. Some of the belt buckles sell for a mint. So it's definitely worth looking up and looking at the belt buckles and belts to find certain brands. And this is one of them. Now this is just a mid, but there are some really higher priced and higher sell-through rates on the same brand. So
I think it's super cool.
I like it.
All right. Next up, I got a couple of things that I got from Jesse. He had a bunch of true vintage stuff that he was marking down and was letting me get first dibs on to go through. And this first one, this one was only $5. It did have some stains on it, but as we've talked about before, when it comes to polyester, a lot of times stains are really easy to get out. And I actually spot treated this, washed it, and actually bleached it with the rest of my whites, and it came out looking fan-freaking-tastic.
Really? I was just going to say, it looked yellow over there.
You guys, she's so rude. This happens all the time where I'm showing you guys something. She's like, oh, it looks really gross. Look at that. Oh. It is not yellow. What are you looking at?
I don't know.
Your eyeballs do not work, old lady.
True. That's true.
Jeez. It's not yellow. It looks fantastic. Anyway, this is a JCPenney polo shirt. It's like full-on polyester, but it's got the sweet dagger collar, which, you know, could be dangerous. And it's an all-over print golf shirt. No yellow to be seen. It had actual yellow spot stains on it. No yellow to be seen. So you can't trust this one over here with the failing, aging eyesight. So
that's true. Blind as a flipping
She knows.
cat.
She knows.
I had to have her look at that Barbie doll. I'm like, is it marked anywhere? I really can't see.
But I paid $5 for it, and I'll probably try to sell it for like 40.
Okay, this was a bins pull today. This one actually, this may or may not have hit the store floor either because it's like mid-December tag. So I don't think so. It wouldn't have been there for 30 days, so probably never hit the floor. Anyway, this is vintage, probably early 90s, made in the USA, Fredericks of Hollywood. It's not, based on the style, it doesn't look like 80s or 70s, which is generally where you see those older Fredericks tags with the paper tag behind it, made in the USA, all that stuff. But this very much looks to me like a 90s, even late 90s type of dress. It's super tiny, stretch, satin, like wiggle dress with like one shoulder. It even looks early Y2K, but they were not making in the USA at that point. So
it's got a huge hole right here.
What? You're a liar. She's such a jerk. Anyway, it's got a rear zipper, stretch, very sexy bodycon dress. The style is in again. I don't know what I'm going to list it for, but probably like the $75 range. I'm just going to take a quick look and see if I can find a history of the Frederick's tags to get a better idea of the date on it, because the style and the tag are kind of throwing me off. Style-wise, this is like late 90s, early 2000s, and yet the tag is made in the USA, which stopped in like early 90s with Frederick's. So I'm not entirely sure. It is. It is. It's not going to make a huge difference. I just want to be able to list it at least decade accurate.
All right. Next up, this is another shirt that I got from Jessie. This one, I believe I paid $10 for,
I would
have
paid 10.
But it is pretty magical. The tag is I don't know this brand, Lestrada.
Eric Estrada?
I don't think so.
Oh, Lestrada.
It's 100% nylon.
Ooh,
100% nylon. But it's definitely 70s. Just look at that collar right there. You'll poke your eye out. But look at how awesome
it looks like a knick-knack shirt.
It's real. I love
brand knick-knack, which is very popular from the 70s and has these great designs. I've shown them before. I've sold them before. They sell in the neighborhood of $100 to $150. I think this is like that. This one.
I love
That's
it.
fantastic.
I think it's great and definitely worth paying $10 for. I love all these old 70s shirts.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I like the style. The design will look great.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of like discoloration on it, but I actually decided not to wash it because I didn't want to.
You should
I don't
wash
know,
it.
the nylon.
No, you should wash it.
You think so?
Yes, it'll come right out.
You think so? Okay.
100%.
I'll do it.
Wash it. Wash it. All right, so Katy handed this to me, and I would have picked this up had I seen it for sure. Super cute, vintage 80s. It's just a cotton, oversized top, but look at it's got cute little panda bears on it. And it's got these big, kind of almost a dolman sleeve that you'd roll up the sleeve. It's collared, it's a button front. It has these fun little sideways pockets on the front, but also what I like is this is so quintessential 80s. You would wear this like over a pair of stirrup pants. Remember the stirrup pants? Look at the back here. It's got the buttons up the back. So it gives it kind of like an oversized tunic top. Super cute. It's probably actually a small. This was on the Goodwill. It has a tag on it. Same thing, mid-December. I don't think it ever hit the floor, but I'll probably sell this for like $45-50. I think it's super cute.
Very nice, very nice. All right, next up is actually something I found at, let's see, I definitely got this at the bins. I found it, I was excited, then I was like, oh no, it smells like cigarettes, and I actually ended up washing it with vinegar, and
it still kind of smells faintly.
I think it's all right. Very, very faint. And it's on the Dickies. It's a 90s. It's a nice big 4XL. It's in fantastic condition. It was really filthy too, and now it's nice and clean. I might throw it in the bathroom with some of that. What's it called again?
Audubon.
Just to get the last little bit of cigarette smell out. But
I know we probably should get an ozone
I don't
machine
smell
for that bathroom.
It doesn't smell like cigarettes to me.
They're not that expensive anymore.
It doesn't smell like cigarettes to me anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, we should.
When you picked it up.
I don't need your sass, but I will do it just in case. Yeah, that's it. I'll probably sell that for, I don't know, $60.
It's a good size, 4XL. So this was a bins find as well today. These are the type of things that the t-shirt bros have no interest in, and yet they sell for a lot more than most of what they pick up. So I don't understand the whatever. It's just not their thing. It's fine. Happy for me. So this is a vintage made in Hawaii, Rain Spooner, reverse print. Now, there are different collabs that Rain Spooner has done with different artists and designers over the years. This one is Art of Eddie Y. I don't know who that is. I'll look it up. It may be a popular one, may not be. But either way, it's a vintage Rain Spooner reverse print with the pineapples on it. It's cute, right? And it's a size medium. So it's not the bigger ones. The bigger the better with Hawaiian shirts. Big guys love Hawaiian shirts. But I should still get $50 to $60 for it.
Yeah. All right. I bought a bunch of jackets. Like I probably have like 15 jackets I need to take pictures of today of my 150 items I've been photographing. But Jessie had a bunch of really cool jackets. This one, I think I paid $20 for this one.
Ooh, that's a lot.
This is 80s. It's on the King Louis tag. It's a satin bomber. But a couple of things that make me really like this one. First of all, if it's going to have a name on it, it's got to be a good name. And this one's Lou. And Lou is a good old school name. So that's good. And then the back, this is Dimension Cable Services. Now, a couple things. And I like the whole rainbow color. The graphic is really great. But also, this is like the old school cable company from back in the 80s.
It's pre-Cox cable.
Yeah, Cox. Is this your item to share?
No, sorry.
So rude. Take a seat.
Take several seats.
Anyway, it was bought out by Cox at some point, but back in the day, and when this comes to nostalgia, there used to be like the Dimension cable commercials on TV and stuff like that. And so this logo, the whole thing is going to bring out hopefully some nostalgia, especially if your name happens to be Lou.
That was totally our cable company. So we got cable in 1983. We got it right as MTV because I watched the MTV premiere because it was so hyped up. I think everybody that had cable watched it. We were pretty lucky. So I got it in 83, and that was absolutely the commercials and we had Cox cable in Rhode Island, and that was absolutely the early commercials. I remember the commercial. It was like a 3-dimensional. Yeah, I totally remember the commercials.
So you probably have like some warm fuzzy feelings around it because it was coincided with you getting MTV and like all that stuff.
Totally watched them put the video killed the radio star premiere. Loved it.
Yep, exactly. So I don't know. I'll probably list this for like 100 and hope to get 60 to 100 bucks for it.
All right, I just have 2 more things. I'm going to show this one first. This was something someone had thrown back at the bins. And again, we said we only stayed for 2 rotations. So we, like 1 full rotation. It was the first thing and then 1 change out on one side. We didn't even stay for much long. But anyway, it's vintage 80s. Liz Claiborne, not really, it doesn't really matter the brand as much. But what I like about it is this is a velour 1-piece jumpsuit with like kind of baggy legs. Very like MC Hammer type legs, elastic waist.
I could see Jody wearing that with a belt.
Oh yeah, Jody would wear that. Anybody could pull this off. Like if you put a big wide belt on it, it's awesome.
Colorful belt.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'll probably list it for like $75.
Love it.
All right,
my last thing is a twofer, and this is probably the actual absolute best thing that I got this week. Like I said, I bought a bunch of jackets from Jesse, and I bought a bunch of. He had everything like separated to like $5, $10, $15, $20. And then he had some stuff that wasn't necessarily like offering up for cheap prices, but if I was interested, he would work with me. And of course, it was a bunch of racing jackets, some really cool 70s, 80s racing jackets. And so, of course, I had to go take a gander, and I went and looked, and this is absolutely the best thing, is these 2 Ford Cobra racing jackets. They're 70s
love those
racing jackets. Now, these can go for a lot. They can go for as much as like $300. This one right here is a popular color because this particular one, what movie was that? It was a Good Will Hunting. What's his name was wearing it? Anyway, the only issue with, now this one, it does have some discoloration. I don't know if you can see that in the light, like the fading. Can you see how it's like lighter right there?
I can see it from here, but I don't know if they can see it on the camera.
I think they can. So it's got some discoloration issues. So, but I'm hoping I can get minimum $150 for it. I think I paid $40 for this. I should be able to get like $150. It's got the nice lined, the furry, fuzzy lining to it. But I really love this red one. Because it's a nice bright red. But it's awesome. You can see it's got the Cobra patch right there. It's got the American flag patch on this side and the Ford patch on this side. And this one does not, as far as I can tell, have any discoloration. It's a little worn, but still.
And you have the faux, like the fur lining.
Yeah, they both have that faux fur fuzzy lining in them. So again, both of these, I'm going to say minimum $150. I'll probably list them for like $250 or something like that with best offer. But super awesome jackets. I love them. They make me very happy. And a great deal from Jesse, so I appreciate it from him. And what's your last thing?
So
you guys!
Because I got this at the bins today. I don't really understand what's happening here, but
what's not to understand?
So it's like this vintage metallic jacket. It's metallic fabric, vintage buttons. It's definitely a handmade type of thing. Like this is the lining. It's this. I don't know where. I don't know what's happening.
I'm feeling your inner pterodactyl.
Call. I don't know what's happening, but it has tails too.
Yeah.
So, dude, I don't really understand. It's just this metallic jacket with tails.
I think it's amazing.
With these crazy arms. It was probably made for some type of costume or cosplay. Remember, we do live in Vegas. This could have been a stage worn. It could have been anything like that.
I love it.
It's made very, very well. But I don't really know what it was made for. And it's clearly, like I said, handmade, but...
it was made for fashion.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funky and fun, and I love the whole, like, total... I don't know.
We would have worn it at some point.
Yeah, it looks like something someone would wear to a festival or just a super fun, artsy thing. I don't know. I had to get it.
There's lots of really weird sounds coming from the other room.
The dogs are playing.
But they're, like, quiet playing, so you just hear this little... All right, guys, that is it. A little bit of a shorter haul video for you, but I actually think we showed you guys some really good stuff. I also made fun of Vikki a lot, so that you always enjoy.
It's true. You guys love to see me abused. I don't understand it.
Well, actually, you were being very abusive toward me. The lack of respect.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And tried to steal my moments and my knowledge. Anyway, guys, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.